to the Football for Kids podcast with me, Darren Rees. Here we go again. It's time for a restart on Legends Week. Last week, we did episodes on the likes of Bobby Moore and the marvellous Michael Owen. Now, we're kicking this week off with not only a couple of England legends being physically on the podcast, but plenty of other legends who make Soccer Aid happen. Because this, of course, is a Soccer Aid special episode. Yesterday, I was very kindly invited along to the home of Chelsea Football Club, Stamford Bridge, as this was the place which would host Soccer Aid 2024. England hadn't won in years, and they would play the Soccer Aid World 11 yet again. But before we get into the match properly, let's kick things off with some interviews with some proper legends. First up is the former Aston Villa, Liverpool, Watford, West Ham, Manchester City, Portsmouth, Bristol City, Bournemouth and England, to name a few, goalkeeper. And that, of course, is the brilliant David James. Now, before we get into this interview with the legendary David James, I need to let you know that there was only so much time that I could get with the celebrities and the ex-players, as they had so many people to speak to. So I thought I'd stick with a couple of really simple, basic football questions, like, who is your team? And I told David that you lot said he had to give an answer. This is what he said. The first question from the kids is, who is your favourite football team? You played for a few football teams. Who is your favourite football team? And they said you've got to give one.
That sounds like a kid demand. I don't have a favourite football team because I have 4 kids and I don't have a favourite kid. What I will say is that on different days and different times, one kid might do better things than the other. Just like at different days, different times, one football club did different things. But I love playing football for anyone. All the teams I played for, from Liverpool, Watford, down to IBV in Iceland and Kerala Blasters in India.
And Portsmouth.
And Pompey, of course. Yeah. But I've still missed out 5, I think, there. So.
No, I'm a Pompey fan.
I am Pompey.
So there's going to be a lot of money raised with Soccer Aid, yes, which is a great thing. Why do you think football is just so powerful and in the way that it works?
I've travelled around the world. I've played around the world. And I continually get surprised at how people love and engage with football and every level. What Soccer Aid for UNICEF is doing is, and this year we could be a momentous year. We could actually break 100 million raised by Soccer Aid in its existence. But it's because, like you said, football is such a magnet for people. It brings people together from a social aspect, from a health, mental health and physical health aspect, just to participate, let alone try and be good enough to be on a pitch at Soccer Aid at Chelsea Stamford Bridge this weekend. But as I say, I've travelled around the world. I've seen kids playing in no boots, 1 boot, tarmac, best pitches. They've loved it. And again, what you see is during the game the enjoyment, but also the social aspects. I think that's why it brings people together.
Well, that was the brilliant David James. What a lovely man he was. And after I spoke to him, I spoke to Sir Mo Farah, the runner who is considered the greatest runner of all time. A 4 times Olympic gold medalist who, when I spoke to him, was with the Football England legend Jermaine Defoe. Jermaine played for Spurs, West Ham, Sunderland, Rangers and of course England, and that's just naming a few. So who does Sir Mo Farah wear the shirt of when he's not at Soccer Aid? And what about JD?
The football team have to be Arsenal. Massive fan of Arsenal. Growing up, just watching some amazing players over, Darren Rees, Bergkamp, Overmars. I don't know if many people remember that, but he used to be so quick down the wing.
He was quick.
And that was my team.
I'm the other side of North London, Spurs. That's why we're standing like this. But obviously, 9 years as a player at Tottenham, last 2 years as a coach. some amazing memories, some fantastic people, and obviously, some unbelievable players that play for that football club.
Once I'd spoken to JD and Sir Mo, I caught up with the lovely Sam Thompson. If you watched I'm a Celebrity last year, you would have seen him being crowned as the king of the jungle. Sam is one of the most energetic but lovely people I've ever met in my entire life. He comes straight up to me and gave me a massive hug, and that was the first time I'd ever met him. To say he was a happy chappy would be an understatement. Here is who he roots for.
Chelsea. I'm a massive Chelsea fan. I'm a season ticket holder at Stamford Bridge. I've been there since, for 25 years I've been season ticket holder. So when I saw Frank Lampard as my manager, the gaffer, I literally was nearly cried. But Frank Lampard was actually my first ever autograph.
Wow.
Yeah, I was 10 and my dad took me to go to his table and get an autograph.
So that might tie in nicely for the next question, which is, who is the greatest player to wear a Chelsea shirt?
Oh, the greatest player to wear the shirt. I would always used to say my favourite player ever was Zola, but the greatest player, to be honest with you, it's got to be between the spine of Terry, Lampard or Drogba, but I couldn't. One of those three, Terry, Lampard or Drogba.
Well, that was the brilliant Sam Thompson. Now let's get into the actual match, as England hadn't beaten the Soccer Aid World 11 in years. In fact, in about half a decade. But there I was in Stamford Bridge, being extremely lucky to have a seat in the venue, watching Danny Dyer strutting his stuff, taking on Chelsea and Real Madrid legend Eden Hazard. That's quite bizarre just saying it, never mind actually being there. Hopefully, you may have had the chance to watch the match live on the television, and you might have even been lucky enough to be there. It was brilliant, with both teams putting in 110% effort from the first to the last whistle. 6 minutes in, England, West Ham and Chelsea legend Joe Cole put England 1-0 up, with one of the most terrific bits of ball control I've seen in years. 7 minutes later, from a set piece, I've got to tell you, Eden Hazard made it look easy as he put one into the back of the net and made it 1-0. A few minutes later, the Juventus veteran Del Piero made it 2-1 for the Soccer Aid team. Oh, and I've got to say, watching Del Piero, Joe Cole and Eden Hazard all on the same pitch in 2024 in London was quite a moment. But that is the beauty of Soccer Aid. England were 2-1 down, but 30 minutes gone and the former Lioness legend Ellen White was having none of it, as she put England level again and made history, being the first female player to score at Soccer Aid since it began. The crowd went completely and utterly bonkers. Half-time came, and it wasn't an ordinary half-time. No, there was some out-of-this-world musical performance. Because that's just how Soccer Aid do things. Anyway, we got into the second half, and the businessman and Dragons Den dragon Stephen Bartlett scored one of the greatest goals I've seen in all the years I've been watching Soccer Aid. He was on the left-hand side of the box with the ball at his feet, and then with his left foot, he put the ball across the goal, past the goalkeeper, and straight into the back of the net. It was a truly remarkable goal to put England 3-2 up. 64 minutes in, England were looking to finish the job, when Jermaine Defoe, looking extra skillful, whizzed past the players in the box and belted the ball so hard I'm sure there were flames coming off of it. The ball hit the back of the net, and I've got to tell you, I'm surprised it didn't put a hole in the back of the net. That's how hard Jermaine Defoe hit it. 74 minutes gone, and England star Stephen Bartlett could see the keeper about to make a terrible mistake as he kicked the ball out. Stephen capitalised on the mistake, jumped into the keeper and the ball bounced off of his back and into the back of the net. England were flying. However, a few minutes later, the Soccer Aid World 11 got themselves a penalty. And a YouTuber you may well be familiar with, a man called Billy Wingrove, stepped up to the spot. Could he draw one back for the Soccer Aid World 11? Well, you bet he could, because without taking any form of a run-up, with his left foot, he smashed the ball past the goalkeeper, scoring for the Soccer Aid team. With 10 minutes to go, the former England, Southampton and England legend Theo Walcott decided in a goal-scoring opportunity that he wouldn't score an ordinary goal. No, because this was Soccer Aid and he was going to do something special. So Theo Walcott lobbed the goalkeeper to make it 6-3 and seal the deal for England. The England coaching staff, which included the likes of Frank Lampard and Harry Redknapp, paced up and down the touchline looking at their watch until the last second came and the referee blew the whistle. England had done it. They'd won 6-3 in an incredible match. Not only was it a truly amazing and incredible match, but there was so much more there, with musical performances and a man who literally, with a jetpack, flew through the air, around the stadium and to the centre spot to deliver the ball. Soccer Aid 2024 was amazing. Before this episode ends, I want to tell the adults about the reason that Soccer Aid exists. It exists because it's there to raise money and awareness for the incredible work that UNICEF, the charity, do. They do so much good in this vast world which we live in. Since it began, Soccer Aid has raised over £100 million. Just think about the good which that money has done. I've spent time with the people who make it happen for a couple of days this week, and I've watched everyone do their thing. They all work so incredibly hard, and they all care for what they do so very much. The donations are still being accepted. So adults, if you can, please do donate, because your donations will go a very long way. I've put the links and all the information you might need in the description of this episode. So remember, if you know someone who loves football just as much as you do, then please tell them about Football for Kids. And whether you're playing football soon, watching it on the telly or pitch side, I hope that you enjoy the game. See you next time.